Hey everyone, welcome to Secrets Behind the Stars. All the whispers, the tension, and the truth behind the headlines are right here. Before we dive in, make sure you're subscribed and share this video so you don't miss what really happened. Thank you for being with us. Beloved actor Akin, whose private life has quietly become a magnet for attention, is said to have been shaken to his core after new photos of his ex-girlfriend, Ebru, appeared online with a new partner. Their split, after years of navigating the highs and lows of a spotlight romance, had stirred up endless curiosity in the tabloids, yet both chose unwavering silence. That calm, however, was shattered the moment fresh images landed across social media feeds. Insiders claim that when Akin first saw the shots of Ebru clasping hands with her new boyfriend, bodies angled close, laughter captured mid-breath, he lost his composure. Those present say he went quiet, then tense, then threw his phone aside as if it had burned him, murmuring to a friend, "I never thought it would hit me like this. It's a lot to carry." People close to him insist this wasn't just jealousy, it was the sudden surge of a bond that never fully faded, a connection built through long nights on set, long talks between scenes, and years of leaning on each other when the lights went out. During their time together, Akin and Ebru were known to lift one another up at every opportunity. Even after the breakup, word is they kept a respectful distance while still occasionally checking in, brief messages, passing hellos, careful not to stir up what they had promised to let rest. But the sight of Ebru with someone new, so comfortable and at ease, reportedly hit like an unexpected wave that knocked Akin off center. Social media reacted with the speed of a storm. Some fans wrote that Akin simply hadn't let go, while others argued for compassion on both sides, insisting it was time to allow each of them to move forward. The debate flared and spread, videos, comments, threads, all pulling the couple's story back into the public square. Through it all, Ebru stayed silent. Those in her circle describe her as calm and grounded, content with where she now stands. She is said to be aware of the noise, aware of how Akin may have reacted, but she has chosen not to fan the flames with any statement. As for Akin, who has been keeping a low profile between filming days, it hasn't been easy. There were moments on set, according to whispers from behind the scenes, when his focus drifted and the weight of everything slowed the rhythm of the day. He has leaned on family and old friends, shared quiet meals, and tried to keep the echo chamber of social media at arm's length. The effort shows in how carefully he's been moving, how deliberately he's chosen silence over spectacle. One of the most recognized actors of his generation seems to be navigating a rough sea after those affectionate snapshots of his ex found their way into the spotlight. The rumors circulating now paint a picture of a man who felt the floor tilt beneath him the second he scrolled past those images. Their romance, once celebrated for its tenderness and balance, had ended without explosions or headlines. The private goodbye had been their last act of unity. But the heart, as so many have learned, doesn't always obey the announcements we make to the world. What drew them together in the first place is known to anyone who watched them work. An authentic closeness that bloomed on a set where they turned shared scripts into something living. The chemistry was undeniable, on and off the camera. Co-stars remarked at the time that it looked effortless, natural, something simple and strong at once. But schedules grew heavier, whispers mounted, and their ambitions began to pull in different directions. The split, when it came, was described by people around them as a mindful, respectful farewell. No public accusations, no bitter remarks, just a door quietly closing so they could each find their own path. Then came this week's images, Ebru at a party, vibrant and unguarded, her fingers laced with her new partners. The photos moved fast, leaping across accounts, hashtags, and articles. Those present say that when Akin saw them, words failed him. He told a confidant later, "I didn't see this coming, and it hit me harder than I thought it would." There were reports of a tense pause on a set that day, lines forgotten, eyes cast down, a break called that lasted longer than usual, before the crew regrouped and tried to reset the energy. People near him argue that this isn't merely possessiveness or a bruised ego. They know the time he spent holding on to little memories. A laugh shared while the cameras were still rolling, a quiet car ride after a long day, the hush of a dressing room where they traded thoughts about scenes and life and what they wanted next. That history, those parallel rises in their careers, make it nearly impossible to sever what lingers without leaving a mark. Even after the breakup, the occasional message meant to check in or acknowledge a milestone had left a thin thread connecting them, fragile, but present. Meanwhile, Ebru has refrained from saying anything. Those around her insist she has stepped into a peaceful rhythm. She respects what was, honors it privately, and has no plans to address the murmurs now swelling online. It's said that when she heard about Akin's reaction, she quietly told someone in her inner circle, "We're moving forward, separately, with kindness." It was not a statement to the press. It was a personal boundary, a way of acknowledging the past while keeping present happiness intact. Fans remain split. Some argue that love doesn't follow a calendar, that the heart can stay tender even after a clean goodbye. Others urge everyone to let both actors breathe, to allow time and new chapters to do their slow work. The story has become one of the most discussed topics of the day. Clips, commentary, 1,000 variations of the same questions. Because their names have never drifted far from the minds of those who grew attached to their romance. In recent weeks, Akin has been a regular fixture in headlines tied to his private life rather than his artistry, a swap he never asked for and doesn't relish. The new images of Ebru looking content beside her partner triggered a wave of speculation and sympathies, and the rumors about how deeply it struck him have only magnified the moment. Friends say he needed time to find his footing again, and that he's been careful not to make any rash decisions that would turn a personal struggle into a public spectacle. It bears repeating that the foundation of their relationship was always a blend of friendship and love. What began on a set grew quickly into the kind of affection that seemed destined to withstand outside noise. But a relentless work pace can fray even the strongest ties. Add the endless churn of gossip and the reality that two talented people might want different things at different times, and the path that once ran side by side begins to veer. Their ability to end things with dignity was praised, and for a while, quiet reigned. This week's photos changed the tone. The image of their hands intertwined, only this time not theirs, but hers with someone new, spread in minutes. Those who saw Akin afterward describe a man who needed space, who stood alone for a while as if measuring the distance between what had been and what is now. He confided to a close friend, "I thought I was ready. I guess I wasn't." The set, ever a place of discipline and routine, couldn't fully insulate him that day from the roar of the outside world. Sources maintain that his feelings are not about ownership or resentment. They are grief and tenderness and a recognition of something finished that still echoes. He's been focusing on restoring balance, longer calls with family, hikes without phones, nights spent reading instead of scrolling. The people who care about him most say he knows this moment will pass, that the ache will become a memory he can carry without flinching. As for Ebru, her circle keeps repeating the same sentiment. She is happy, she is at peace, she is moving with intention. She's not hiding or flaunting, she's simply living. She appreciates what the past gave her, understands why the public is invested, and chooses not to fuel any more speculation. The story doesn't need her voice right now, she believes, and for the time being, she'll let her silence speak for her. And so the conversation continues among fans. One side mourns what was, convinced that you can't so easily switch off feelings shaped by shared work and intertwined dreams. The other side wants to grant both of them the dignity of growth, to wish them well as they carve new routes through familiar terrain. Both read the same photos and come away with different truths. Even if the world never learns every detail, the outlines are clear. Two people who once stood as a symbol of on-screen chemistry and off-screen devotion stepped away with grace, and then life, as it does, carried them forward at different speeds. When the past and the present collided online in a flash of images, it jolted old emotions awake. But time moves, and so do the people in it. We've reached the end of today's story. If you were drawn in by the journey, make sure to subscribe to Secrets Behind the Stars and share this video so others can follow along. Until next time, take care and stay tuned for what comes next.